All right. All right. Hey there, guys. This is Haight's Wanderings. Today, we got a special video coming at you. I said I was going to do this a couple days ago on Thanksgiving, but I have been ill, so I'm doing it today. This is our giveaway for a pretty cool experience. My dog is barking upstairs, so I'm hopefully waiting until she stops. Alright, so as I was saying, this is a very cool experience that hopefully our winner today is going to really enjoy. This is not a guided trip. This is a scouting mission with you and a friend and myself, and we're going to go and we're going to have fun. So I'm going to right now switch over to my other camera. I already filmed the comment picker, and it went through every single comment that was left on that YouTube page, and it pulled one random lucky individual. So here it goes. So, as you can see, a congratulations is in order to Mike Kane. Mike, congratulations. Hopefully you are going to see this and reach out to me, please, through my website, and we're gonna figure this out. Looking at your comment, it appears that you are from Southeast Wisconsin. So I'm thinking I might drive your way a little ways. Maybe we meet in the middle, and maybe we explore some rivers that you've never explored, I've never explored, and we make an awesome video trying out some new water. That could be a ton of fun. So reach out to me, please. Yeah. And guys, if nobody reaches out to me, if people don't get back in touch with me, in about a week's time, I'll probably try to reach out again. But if I don't end up getting in contact, then I'll have to do this again. So hopefully Mike Kane gets this comment, because I'm going to go and I'm going to try to get this message to him. But if for some reason that doesn't happen, I'll make another video and we'll try to find another lucky individual. But there is still a little bit more. I decided to do a secondary drawing, not for a scouting trip, but to give back to another commenter. So I decided to send out, well, one of those really cool Savage Gear snakes. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but back a month or so back, I went to buy one of these from Amazon, and instead of sending me one of them, they sent me multiple snakes, and so it's still in the packaging. Haven't taken it out, and I will be sending that to Christopher Morgan. He is the other commenter that the random YouTube comment generator picked, and so Christopher Morgan, if you wouldn't mind contacting me through my YouTube page, I will send this to you in the mail. There we go. I had planned, guys, to do a huge Q&A today. I was going to do an hour-long video. I was going to go through everybody's comments, and I was just going to talk, and hopefully a few of you were going to find that interesting. At least a few of you, hopefully. But the truth is I am still ill. I don't know if you can hear that, in my brain. I just, I got all sorts of illness going on. So my thought is maybe I'll just do 2 of the comments specifically from our 2 winners, and maybe I'll pick one more from the YouTube app on my phone. and then I'll do another actual Q&A in maybe a week or so when I am feeling significantly better, hopefully. All right, so let's start this quick Q&A today with our giveaway winner, Mike Kane. And I don't have it in front of me, but I'm like remembering. I believe this is exactly what he wrote. He said, fishing in southeast Wisconsin. That he says, I'm used to going to places and not seeing a single person there. But he says, in the last year, it appears that every time I go fishing, there are simply people at the places where there used to be no one. And so he says, do you have the same experience where fishing pressure is increasing? And so I think this is an interesting question, and I think it's also a question that's a little bit difficult to answer when it comes to like the reality of the situation. I always feel like there are more people fishing, but I say the word I feel like there's more people fishing. In reality, I don't actually know. Maybe it's this confirmation bias where I'm always looking for more people, and then when I see somebody, it reinforces the idea that those places are no longer pristine. I don't know, Mike. I definitely can go out fishing and not see anybody at all. But sometimes I might see people, and maybe they're just out canoeing, or maybe they're out just enjoying themselves. I think that people have found fishing to be a way to combat all of the sickness of the last 3 or 4 years, and people are getting out and enjoying themselves, and there are more people everywhere. And so I think the smaller areas of the world are getting an influx of people. I just think that's just part of the way life is going. So are there more people? I don't know. Does it feel like there's more people? Yes, it definitely feels that way. But I think as long as people respect areas and respect the fish and respect all of that, and respect by not naming locations on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, I think that's important. I think that's one problem, is when people go to new areas, they don't realize how quickly name dropping a location can really drastically increase the pressure by fishing from people on the internet that see it. And I'm guilty of this because I run a YouTube channel and an Instagram page, and I understand. So I've learned that lesson, and I think everyone has to learn that lesson at some point. But definitely, it feels like there's more people out there fishing. But that's not a bad thing, I don't think, as long as, again, people are respectful of fish and understand catch and release practices. So, who knows? The next question was from Christopher Morgan, and I can remember this one off the top of my head. Got a mind like a steel trap, sometimes. Christopher Morgan says something to the effect of, what is a place in the world that you would go to fish? Anywhere in the world, if you could fish, where would you go? And I can actually answer this fairly easily. I have 2 locations. Both of them would be fairly long international trips. And both of the places I've actually already fished, kind of. So, number 1, I would return to South America. When I was younger, I spent a good amount of time in South America, primarily in Ecuador. And I would return to maybe Ecuador or maybe Bolivia, maybe Peru. I don't know. I probably wouldn't go to Brazil, but maybe I'd go into Brazil. Who knows? But I would be fishing in the tributaries to the Amazon. Or potentially I would go a little farther southeast into the Golden Dorado waters there in Bolivia. Probably I'd make it I know. I'd probably make it a combo trip where I would go into the tributaries of the Amazon and I'd fish for peacock bass, and then I would pop my way over to Bolivia and I'd fish for Golden Dorado. That would probably rock my world. I would love that. The second, the second option of where I would go is I'd go back to the Zambezi River. So I actually have already fished the Zambezi. It's between Zambia and Zimbabwe, and then you have to throw in Namibia in there as well. I believe the river goes through a long, many countries it touches. But I would fish above the falls there. I'm trying to think of the name of the falls. It's the town of Livingston is right there on the falls. Livingston. The name of the falls is wow, my brain is not working. Not Angel Falls. That's in Venezuela. Holy smokes. Victoria Falls. Oh, there we go. So I would actually go back to Zambia. I would go to Victoria Falls. I would go during low water, because when I was there, the water was fairly high and not really what I was looking for. But I'd go during low water, and I would fish for tiger fish. So that would be what I would want to do. And I'd want to dedicate time to it, and I'd want to fish in a different manner than I fished last time. I was using cut bait last time and drifting it along, and he was using dull hooks, and I lost 2 tiger fish, and I was really bummed about that. But definitely returning to the Zambezi River. That would be pretty darn sick. And you know, I probably will do it someday. I probably will. Someday when my daughter's older, I want to travel with her internationally, and so I'll probably return to Zambia, let my daughter experience a bit of Africa, and then I will probably do a guided trip on the Zambezi myself. Alright guys, those were 2 comments. This video looks like it's currently been going for 14.5 minutes. I'm going to pull up one more comment on this video. One more comment, and I'll answer that one, and then I think this is going to be the end of our giveaway. Oh, let's do this one right here. This comes from someone named Catfish. That's spelled with a K, Catfish. She says, have you ever had any close encounters with wildlife while scouting new water? And I mean, maybe I'm not going to do so much scouting new water, but let's just say out on the rivers, and if I had any close encounters. And I'll say, yeah, I have had a couple of kind of interesting run-ins out there. So one day I was with 2 guys from Indiana or Ohio or Illinois. No, they weren't from Illinois. I think they're from Indiana. I'm trying to think back. 2 really cool guys from Indiana, both in their early 20s. They told me they wanted to go fishing, and so we went out for an adventure. The water was really low that day, and we're going down through a skinny stretch of water, and I look up in front. They're both standing and casting, and I'm rowing, and I look up in front of us, and I'm like, hey guys, look, a moose. And then I quickly realize it's not a moose, and I say, oh wait, it's a baby moose. And then we keep looking at it, and the guy in the front of the boat says, that's not a moose. and it was a large animal. It was a really, really large animal. It was, so we get a little bit closer, and I say, oh my gosh, that's a wolf. There was a full-grown wolf crossing the river up in front of our raft, and it was huge. It was crazy huge. It was crossing in like a really shallow, riffly area, so it didn't have to get wet or anything, and it just kind of majestically just crossed the river. We had a really good view of it, and again, it was such a big animal. I thought it was a moose, which again, in hindsight, obviously it wasn't a moose. It was, but really cool. It was super special. It's the only wolf I've actually seen on the river. I'm sure I've gone by many wolves, but extremely rare to see, and I don't know if that'll ever happen again, so that was pretty cool. Another trip, we were out fishing. I had two individuals, and I can't remember who was with me, but they were asking about wildlife and if you ever see anything, and I was like, well, sometimes you see animals and sometimes you see things, and I kind of look up and I'm like, what in the world is that? And I was like, guys, look, what is that? There were a set of fawns. There were twins. There were two fawns side by side, and one of them was completely albino. The other one was a normal colored deer, and one was completely albino. And I was like, whoa, guys, never in my life have I seen an albino deer. And they were just asking about, random encounters, right? So the albino fawn was pretty cool. The wolf was awesome. The albino fawn was awesome. We see bear on the river sometimes. That's not super uncommon. Trying to think if there's any other close encounters. I mean, I guess it's not super rare, but we see otter all the time. But I think river otter are awesome because they're inquisitive, they're curious, they're territorial, they're feisty, spicy creatures. They'll come up and they'll hiss at you, and they're not like beavers that just run away, right? Otters, they'll pop their head up and they'll make their hissing noises at you. They'll go under, they'll come back up a little ways over, they'll hiss at you some more. And they're fun to watch. They're fun, and as I said, they're intelligent, inquisitive creatures, and so I really appreciate when I get to see otter on the river. That always makes me, I don't know, it gives me a special feeling. I feel kind of like, if I was in Harry Potter and I had a Patronus, it might be a river otter. So, a little bit of nerding out for you guys that know what I'm talking about, but there you go. So, Catfish, I hope I answered your question there. And for the rest of you, I know you all had a ton of questions. I will be doing that Q&A maybe next week. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow if I feel better, but probably I'm going to wait until next weekend and I will do it then. It's going to be a long video. I'm probably looking at an hour-long video to respond to all those questions, and so hopefully you guys enjoy that, and thank you for watching. If you actually made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I appreciate that, guys. Hopefully you found it entertaining, maybe. Mike Kane and Christopher Morgan, please reach out to me because you guys were the winners today for this giveaway. And I think that's it. Without further ado, as always, catch, release, wander. I will see you guys in the next one.